In this lesson, we'll wrap up this course by learning how to export our texture maps out of Mari. All right, fantastic. So after we've been on this journey, we've traveled all the way through this course and ended up with really 3 different types of maps here that we need to export. If this is your first time using Mari, then you may not know how to export these maps inside of Mari 2.0. Now, that's actually very, very simple. So basically the way we've structured this is in the channels palette, we've set up a channel for each of the maps that we're using. Now, we don't need our normal map. We've already got that saved out, but we do need the color, the specular, and the transparency map, so we can export those out and take them either into our primary 3D application or our game engine. Now, that's actually very simple here. More than likely, we're not going to need all of these different layers that make up, say, the color channel, for example. We just need a flattened version of this color map. So if we come over here in our channels palette, we can simply right-click on the color channel. And you'll see here there are a couple of export options here. We can export things in an unflattened state here under the export options. Or in this case, we want flattened textures. So we can come over under Export Flattened and simply choose Export Current Channel Flattened. We could export all the channels flattened, but my preference is to export the maps one at a time. So whatever you want to do is up to you. So I'll go ahead and click on that here. And when the dialog comes up, you'll be prompted to browse to wherever you want to save these files to. And I'm actually going to save them in my referenced files folder of your project files. So let's come in here and go ahead and I'll just create a new folder with this button here. And I'm going to name that texture_maps. Fantastic. So I'll just double click on that guy. Now, when you're saving your texture maps out, Mari can save any of these particular file formats for this project here. So you can see that by default it is a TIFF file format. So there is a naming template here. There is basically a name that's going to be assigned to each one of the files we export. In this case, it's going to be the channel name, which is color. And then the UDIM number, which is assigned to each particular texture patch, and then TIFF, of course. So now we're going to leave this set to use template for only this layer. Small textures will enable Mari to save some space where there's really not textures being used. And then, of course, we're going to, say, keep alpha channels if we basically used any of those. But in this particular case, don't have any alpha channels on my color map. So let's go ahead and export all patches right here. I'll go ahead and hit that. You'll see Mari's going to go through the process of baking everything down and exporting out our texture maps. And I'll go ahead and drag in an Explorer window here so you can see what Mari did. There's our texture maps folder, and if I double click on that, you can see there are the 2 texture maps for our color map. We've got color.1001 and color.1002. Again, because we have 2 different patches in this particular project. So that's how you can export your texture maps out of Mari. Hopefully you've enjoyed this course dedicated to texturing game characters here inside of Mari. Thanks for joining me.